All right, Clay, here's your video on my rope wrench, okay? So I have 8mm beeline. It's actually 5/16 to be exact, which is slightly different than 8mm because it's not metric. But basically 8mm. And then on my unknown climbing line, I've got the notch rope wrench with the Rope Logic, the Fix Shorty. So the Fix is their design for this tether, but the Shorty is the name for the specific one that's shorter. Okay, so then I've got, like I said, the 8mm hitch cord. It's the beeline. I've got your hitch climber pulley, and I've got a carabiner here. Okay, so besides my rope, I've got the wrench, the tether, a hitch cord, pulley, and a carabiner. So those are the pieces. Okay, so the way it works is this hitch right here, and you can choose whatever knot you want, but I'm going to go through 2 different ones and why I like this one so far, but I haven't climbed on it, so we'll see. But this one is the Michoacán, and it's whatever hitch you use, it's some kind of Prusik friction hitch, right? That is going to pull on your carabiner. So you can see it comes down to the carabiner, and that's what you sit on. So as I sit down on it, it stretches that out, and you can see it's bending the climbing line through here, and that would hold me. So this would actually hold me by itself. I could sit here on this, maybe not with like a saw and all the weight, but it would hold me. The problem is that it would be so tight from all my weight on it that I couldn't lower myself. That's what this does. So this adds extra friction above which will enable me to take off some of the friction from this so that this one doesn't bind. And that way I can use that to lower it like this. Okay, so for reference, I've got the akimbo here, and on the Lifeline carabiner that we use, if I put it here, okay, it's going to be, that's backwards. If I put it here like this, okay, that's when it is extended, right? This is a little bit taller, but I really tried to go with the smallest pieces, which is really the Fix. What will make it longer is the tether here and how high it raises up this wrench here, as well as how big your carabiner is. So I went with a small carabiner that's still life support rated, and this piece here. Once you choose the length of your tether, then you will have the option of choosing a hitch cord that fits in there. So for example, I've got this hitch cord on here now, and I ordered it, and then I measured it, and I tied knots so that I can get it the right length. I actually tied it once, and when I sat back like this, the hitch cord was all the way up here, and you can't grab it. It pinches inside the wrench and doesn't work until it's too late. So I made it a little bit shorter. This is 20, I think either 24.5 or 25.5 inches. Okay, so the Rope Logic tether Shorty says it's got to be at least 26 inches and no more. So let me show you what it looks like with your Prusik that's a lot longer and why that matters. Here's your hitch cord, and you can see the length difference. Okay, so if I try to use your hitch cord, both depending on the length of the cord and the type of knot that I tie for a hitch, it'll make a difference with how much space is taken up inside the, inside the rope tether. So let's tie one here. I'm tying the same hitch so that I can compare the rope to rope. Okay, so there's my Prusik. Now, obviously, these don't have knots on the end, but that doesn't matter right now because I'm comparing it to the end of the eye. So even though the eye is sewn on this and it's a knot on the other one, the length is still the same. But eventually, I'm gonna sew my own eyes. Ryan, can you hold this line out of the way? Yeah, just hold it like that. Thank you. Okay, so there's my hitch. Now I need to connect all of it back together, right? So I get the pulley. my carabiner. I'm going to put my carabiner through the eye here on one side of the pressic. Then I'm going to put it through the pulley. Then I'm going to put it through the tether. And that doesn't matter which order. It could be the pressic, the tether, and then the pulley, or the other way around. I just did it this way because it's easier. And then your other side of the tether, the other side of the pressic goes on the carabiner. And then for safety, rotate your carabiner all the way around. And then you can clip in for life support. Okay, so at this point, I've got it set up the same way, except the difference is my hitch cord is too long, right? So I pull up, tend the slack, I go to sit back on it, and look at how it's pinched all the way up there because this is so long in here, okay? So that's the problem. You got to get a hitch cord that's short enough to work. So, okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you again how to tie the Michoacán hitch that I was using, and then I'm going to show you how to tie the VT hitch that you've seen Educated Climber use. I don't like the VT hitch because I think that it's longer. The Michoacán takes up less space within the range of the tether. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up the Michoacán hitch again. I've got my pulley down here below and my rope wrench just kind of up out of the way. I'm going to tie the Michoacán. You can look it up. Somebody else can show you better for like up close. But I'm going to wrap it 4 times going up, and I'm going counterclockwise. And then I want to leave. So now I've got 2 tails, right? A top and a bottom. The bottom one, I want to leave some slack. I'm going to take the top one, I'm going to cross it over the bottom one. Like that. There, it's crossed over. And then they both go behind. I'm going to twist it and take the one that was on bottom. This one here that was on the bottom, and now it's on the top. I'm going to take it and go under and then back through this hole right here. Okay, I'm not going to get any closer because you can look it up somewhere else, but so it goes in there and then dresser knot. The nice thing about sewing my eyes are going to be that I don't have to keep moving the end knots there. Okay, I've got my Michoacán set. Take a carabiner, go through the eye, go through the, I said go through the pulley, that's what I do. Pulley, then the tether, then the other side of my hitch cord. Okay? Okay. All right. So there's my, and I rotate it around. There's my Michoacán hitch, okay? So if I wanted to do the VT hitch, there's 2 reasons I don't like it. One I said was that it takes up too much space. But also the Michoacán, I can tie it and then let it stay there and leave it, and I don't have to hold it, which makes it a lot easier. So for the VT hitch, I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to do my braids, right? So I need to leave more on the top there. So let's just do 3 on top, and then top, and then I braid them. So I can braid them, and that's done there. Okay. I can tie my pulley to it. But see, I have to hold the hitch. I didn't have to hold the hitch with the other one, with the Michoacán. Bring this down. Okay, so you can see how how much more space this is taking up. It's all the way up here, and it spreads out the length of the hitch cord throughout the length of this space rather than taking it up. I don't like that as much. So the hitch cord is all the way up here. It still works with this length of hitch cord, but it's just not, I don't like it as much. So anyway, there you go.